Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tanner Davis and welcome back to another predictions video. Today we will be predicting the 2023 WWE Fastlane match card. As always, I can't do the series by myself. You know I gotta get the co-host. Please welcome my twin brother, C-Dave. Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. We had to get the chair in the studio. You know, when you're in Double D's Double Deluxe, it's a little cramped. So, officially, please welcome C-Dave, co-host of the predictions video. Come on in. Tanner, I'm glad to be here. But, based off last week, I've been kind of reflecting on stuff that needs to happen. And me being the third co-host of this show, there's a lot of differences between me and the other co-host. Every single co-host that has been on here prior to me has always had a theme song. And I'm just sick and tired of never having a song to come in and introduce me properly to this show. Well, considering that you've only been on here one time and that the co-hosts who come here on a cumulative basis on every single pay-per-view, it takes time to get a theme song. You don't just come in and think you're a big dog. Just because you're the twin brother of Tanner D don't mean you got any specialty. You know what I'm saying? So we will get you a theme song, but it ain't just gonna happen in the flick of a dime, baby boy. We gonna get it right and we gonna get it tight. So that means, ladies and gentlemen, Double D's will officially come out with a brand new single, the C-Dave official theme song. An original song. Stay tuned for that. But ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is. You know what time it is? I know what time it is. Cue that intro.
They told him, don't you ever come around here. Don't wanna see your face, you better disappear.
Ladies and gentlemen, this shouldn't be too long of a video. We're not going to take too much of you guys' time. There's only 5 matches on the card, so let's get right into it. First match on the card, for the Undisputed Tag Team Championships of the world, your current champions, Finn Balor and Damian Priest of the Judgement Day, taking on the newly formed team of Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes. Coming off these following weeks for the build-up for this match, when Jey Uso came to Raw, you know, Cody Rhodes was kind of like, do I trust him? He kind of messed me up at WrestleMania with the Bloodline and everything, and I lost to Roman. Should I really trust him? And then, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. The Judgment Day came after Jey Uso. Cody Rhodes felt obligated. Now Cody Rhodes and Jey Usos are teaming up to fight the common enemy in the Judgment Day for the Tag Team Championships. Hopefully that was good enough and brief enough for you guys to kind of explain the storyline. But C-Dave, you did get beat. Last predictions video, it came down to the main event and you did end up losing. Therefore, old Tanner D has got the first prediction. And I do think Finn Balor and Damian Priest will be retaining. It doesn't make sense to me for you to put up a new tag team and then just have chemistry right off the bat. There may be issues, not entirely too sure. But Jey Uso's on an amazing singles run right now. I don't doubt that this will kill any of his momentum. Cody Rhodes has always been, you know, a top dog, one of the top faces, baby faces on Raw. And so it'll be a good match. It won't be a squash by any means. It'll be back and forth. Nobody will look weak in this match. But ultimately, a winner has to be declared. And therefore, the Judgment Day is going to retain their championships. I definitely agree. I think that they put Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes together. And it just won't work out. Like, they're just putting tag teams together at this point because they have no other option. Who would have thought that main event Cody Rhodes would be in a tag team after he lost to Roman Reigns? You know, it just doesn't make sense that, hey, we're going to put this tag team together against our undisputed tag team champions to see if they're going to win. And so, therefore, I just think that Finn Balor and Damian Priest, Senor Money in the Bank, will come out with this dub. Next match. Our next match on the card, which is just kind of the match they've thrown in there. I don't expect it to be too big, but it's kind of probably the weakest match on the card in terms of build-up and storyline. We're having a 6-man tag team match. The LWO of Rey Mysterio, your current United States champion, Santos, Escobar, and Joaquin Wilde with Cruz del Toro and Zelina Vega sitting at ringside versus the newly found faction of Bobby Lashley and Angelo Dawkins and Montez Ford of the Street Profits. That's a lot of people. A lot of names to say. But see, Dave, it is your turn to predict first. Who do you have winning? The build-up's been kind of weak. They kind of threw this together in last week or the week before last because Bobby Lashley was like, Street Profits, y'all ain't been doing what I tried to get y'all to do. Y'all been not wearing them suits like I want you to. Now, you better prove to me that you are worthy of the Almighty. Because ultimately, we got to prove that we're worthy of the Almighty. He's just too almighty. And the Street Profits finally proved that last week or the week beforehand when they beat the snot out of, I couldn't even tell you, I can't remember, but I did watch it. But they beat the snot of some tag team. Bobby Lashley came out and said, you know what? We're going against the LWO. And that's kind of what's happening. So see, Dave, I'm sorry for that rant, but go ahead.
They always say that if you want something done, you gotta take matters into your own hands and do it yourself. And I feel like this is what Bobby Lashley is trying to do. He sees the struggling Street Profits, but they make this faction, and Bobby Lashley wants to take the matters into his own hands. And we did see Bobby Lashley live. We're big Bobby Lashley fans. If you did watch that vlog, go watch it if you haven't. So therefore, because I think Bobby Lashley is taking matters into his own hands, he and the Street Profits are coming out with the dub, regardless of Rey Mysterio leading this with the championship on his shoulder.
There's one thing that we just do not do on this channel. It is an unspoken rule, and that is go against the Almighty. There is nothing that I can say that will prove to me that the Almighty will not come out with the dub. And therefore, ultimately, my prediction is going to be Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. It doesn't matter who Bobby Lashley has in his corner. It's Bobby freaking Lashley. It is the Almighty. And he's going to win 10 out of 10 times all day, every day. So therefore, my prediction, Bobby Lashley, Street Profits, taking the dub against LWO on Saturday night. Next match. This match has probably been over a span of 2 months. 2 months, I want to say. SummerSlam. Triple threat match. Asuka, Charlotte Flair, Bianca Belair battling for Asuka's WWE Women's Championship, the newly redesigned Women's Championship. Triple threat match. It ended. Charlotte Flair hitting a figure 8 on Asuka. Bianca Belair was outside of the ring injured. Everyone thought she was going in a stretcher and getting taken backstage to fix the injury. It was all a work. Bianca Belair comes out of the top rope and splashes on Charlotte Flair. But the match wasn't over. Now, honestly, I can't remember the finish. Bianca Belair did end up winning the championship, but what came afterward was kind of surprising. Io Sky, Miss Money in the Bank, came out and cashed in. Became your new women's champion. And therefore, she is defending her title for the first time on a premium live event against Charlotte Flair and the former champion, Asuka. Now, there's a lot of things that can happen in this match. Bayley interfere. Dakota Kai interfere. Bianca Belair interfere. Ultimately, I do think an Asian woman is going to win this match. I think Charlotte Flair is at a historical run, but they don't want her to hold the title quite yet, and add to that 14-time championship reign. I'm inclined to go with Io Sky, but my gut is telling me that there may be a heel turn. Or a turn on Io Sky with Bayley or Dakota Kai returning. Then there's going to be problems that may have to fizzle out within Damage Control. So because I don't think Charlotte Flair's winning, and because Io Sky, I see issues within Damage Control, the only person right for me in my head is the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka.
Why is she the Empress of Tomorrow and not the Empress of Today? She needs to win that title now.
Well, considering that Fastlane is tomorrow,
okay.
And she is the Empress of Tomorrow, that analogy
right.
doesn't hold.
You're right. I'm a newbie here, so guys. Just
he didn't think before he talked. He thought he could be funny.
Okay, I will say though that I do disagree with what you're saying, and we see this kind of similar build with, in my opinion, the Alpha Academy and Imperium, to where Chad Gable had all this momentum to try to beat Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship, and then Alpha Academy just ended up going against his lackeys in Imperium. I don't even know their names. Ludwig Kaiser and
Giovanni
Da Vinci, whatever his name is.
Johnny Sins.
Yeah, him. So I feel like, looking at that, I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. Tanner said that there might be a Dakota Kai return, and I think that this is setting up a tag team with Charlotte Flair and Asuka, potentially Bianca Belair as well, with Damage Control. So I feel like there will be kind of a tag team-esque view with those two factions coming together. If not, it'll just be Charlotte Flair and Asuka, and then, Damage Control. So therefore, I think Io Sky, and it only makes sense that Io Sky retains.
But eventually, Damage Control is going to disband.
Not now.
Eventually.
It's not the time or the place. It's Fastlane.
Next
match.
Your next match, which should be the main event on the card, but it's not the biggest match, and we'll get to the main event. But for the World Heavyweight Championship, your current champion, Seth freaking Rollins, defending his title, putting it all on line in a rematch versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Sorry, I tried. I couldn't do it. See, Dave. It's all you.
I know it's Fastlane. Let's just slow it down just a little bit. Let's get in that right-hand lane and kind of just slow down, put it on cruise control.
Right, let's slow it down. Let's slow it down. Let's build this match up for those of the viewers sitting at home.
Let's go. Let me sit back
real
quick.
Let's go. Before last Premium Live event, Payback, Shinsuke Nakamura turned on Seth Rollins during an episode of Raw when they were in a tag team match, a 6-man or a tag team. I think they were in the 6-man with Cody Rhodes. Regardless, Shinsuke Nakamura turns. He turns heel, and everyone's like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? Shinsuke goes after Seth, saying, I know how your back is. You got injury. I'm coming for you, and I'm taking that championship. That's what he said, We're just reiterating. Seth Rollins was like, no sir, no sirree, But at Payback, Seth Rollins ended up retaining. Shinsuke was like, I didn't give you all. Give me my rematch at Fastlane. And so that's what he is doing. And so Shinsuke Nakamura in a rematch versus Seth freaking Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship, and the winner will be C. Dave.
I want to say Shinsuke, but because of what happened last pay-per-view,
Premium Live event, noob.
Premium Live event, I have to go with the freaking right answer in Seth freaking Rollins. That's who's winning that match.
I said Seth last month. I said Seth was going to retain. But my thought process is, who is up in line after Shinsuke Nakamura? No one. Shinsuke's got to win. This is Shinsuke's moment. He's never, ever held a world title. I think Shinsuke is the most over heel on Raw right now. And therefore, that it only makes sense that Shinsuke Nakamura will win and become your new World Heavyweight Champion. And ladies and gentlemen, that takes us to the final match. The saddest part of the video. In a tag team match with the returning John Cena. And I would lay the groundwork out, but we got 5 minutes left on recording on the battery of this camera, so we gotta go quick, ladies and gentlemen. John Cena is teaming up with L.A. Knight, the biggest babyface in the company right now, to take on Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa of the Bloodline to prove to Roman Reigns that they have what it takes to still stay in the Bloodline, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. Now what's gonna happen is you have John Cena and L.A. Knight, two biggest stars in the company right now, taking on Jimmy Uso and Solo Sikoa, who were once a part of the biggest faction, the most over group in wrestling history. But what's going to happen is, there's only one GOAT, and that's John Cena. And John Cena and LA Knight will take the dub. I don't know what's going to happen, what this is going to turn into, if John Cena's going into Survivor Series with a match, if he's doing something with Roman. I have no clue. But for the purposes of the predictions video, because I can't predict the future, I gotta predict the present. And John Cena, LA Knight are winning this match.
Tanner, I love LA Knight. So therefore, when I predict a match of his, I gotta start off by saying, let me talk to you. As I said, I'm a big LA Knight fan, and we saw him live, and it was fantastic. So therefore, my prediction for this match has got to end with everybody saying LA Knight. Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, that will conclude our predictions video. Sorry if we kept you waiting for a while. I really appreciate the new viewership coming in with the Dylan Flip Daddy and Tanner Davis ladder match for the Tanner Davis U2 World Heavyweight Championship. It's getting real big. If you haven't watched that, please. It concluded a history between Tanner Davis and Dylan Flip Daddy Clark. And we don't know what's next in store for Dylan Flip Daddy Clark. But what we do know is that it's a new chapter in the book of the Tanner Davis YouTube WWE Prediction Series. And that a new co-host, has been found in C-Dave. And that C-Dave may at one point have his shot at the title. We don't know yet. There's a history building up. You know, with everything, we're all about storylines. So we'll see what happens down the road, C-Dave. If you really have what it takes to really be on here. But ladies and gentlemen, enough of me rambling. I have some ideas that I want to go through. Obviously, we have DLC Demolition that has yet to come to an end. I've been really busy. I apologize. There's no excuse I can really make. My idea is I'm going to come out with the next title defense video, and that'll be a standalone video. But the other I think it's four, the Bray Wyatt pack and the Bad News Barrett pack, and then those two title defenses, I'll live stream them. And we're going to have a live stream. We're going to live stream the rest of the DLC Demolition. And what will happen is we'll start brand new with Dream Match. And our first episode of Dream Match, you'll see a familiar face. So stay tuned for that. Ladies and gentlemen, that's about as much as I can think about it this time. My brain's going numb. I've had a lot of classes. And now I just want to sit and watch wrestling tomorrow night. But hopefully you enjoyed today's video. Hopefully we didn't speak for too long. It's just been so long that I've been in front of a camera, I just feel like I gotta just talk. But see, Dave, anything for the viewers before we go?
I mean, we got less than 1 minute left on this charge, so we gotta wrap it up.
We sure do. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching. It says charge. Change the battery pack. Thank you so much. We love you guys. We'll see you in the next predictions video, and goodbye.